Hey y'all, welcome back to the Swatches YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Ofune and I am the face behind the swatch arm you might see on some of your social media feeds. And if you are returning, welcome back. Thanks for coming back and hanging out with me today. We are going to be reviewing another foundation. This summer we have just been like pow, 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 pow with all of the foundation releases. So as summer comes to a close, we are going to be reviewing one of the last ones to come on the market. This is the MAC Studio Fix Stick Foundation. So if you're interested in this launch and want to find out more, stay tuned and keep on watching. All right, so we're jumping right into today's tutorial review. It's more of a review. I have actually, full disclosure, played around with this foundation. I've done a quick demo, wear test, and all that. And in doing that, I kind of have learned a little bit on how this foundation performs, how it wears, etc., and the best ways to kind of apply it. So I'm going to share all of that with you today as we kind of go through everything. So to begin, before I even like prep the face or anything, I want to kind of go through the shade range. So even with all of MAC's 60 shades, I don't feel like I have 60 shades of their Studio Fix Fluid. I don't feel like I have a shade in their foundation. I just never have. Like, even though like everyone starts off with MAC, I started off with MAC. I feel like I was wearing the wrong shade. I used to wear NW50 and the powder. So I say all that to say, like, I didn't expect to have a match in this foundation, and this foundation has approximately half of the shades of a Studio Fix Fluid. It only has 33. Why? I don't know. I don't know how MAC makes these decisions. Anyways, so this foundation is called a soft matte stick, but it does say that it has a hydrating finish. So take from that what you will. Basically, it's going to be more of a glowy kind of natural finish. So let's get into these swatches. So I'm going to do a couple of face swatches to show y'all the shades, if you use me as a shade reference, just so you can see what some of these shades look like on me. So the first one, the one that I've been using, is NW47. It's kind of cool how they have the names there like that. So this is NW47, and as you can see, it's looking a little light, and for me, the only reason why I don't like this shade is because it's a little bit warm. And I'll swatch them and then I'll blend them out. So the next one that I kind of am gravitating towards is NW55. Focus there. I'm gonna put that right next to it. And that one is slightly darker, but also a little bit more like red. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then we have NC60. This is what that looks like. I'm gonna put that right there. So yeah, that one looks kind of ashy. But the NCs tend to be more golden, but that's like the darkest. NC60 is the darkest they have. So this is what NC60 looks like blended out. It doesn't look bad as I start to blend it out. It's just too light. Like, I wish they had another shade after that. This is NC47, as I said, I've been using. So y'all can kind of tell, it's like they blend out pretty nicely. So that's NW47. In the middle, we have NW45. So I kind of blended them all together now. Let me see if I can change lighting so it's easier for y'all to see. Hopefully, get a little closer, you guys can kind of see. Hopefully y'all can see. This is like the right undertone, but it's way too light. These two are a lot closer, but they're just a little bit warm. So I'm just gonna go ahead with NW47 like I've been doing. But I just wanted to show y'all in case you were wondering the differences. So as I mentioned before, this foundation is supposed to have kind of a hydrating finish. You know, for people like me who have oily skin types, it's kind of like but if you look at some of my past foundation reviews, I've said that I don't really shy away from hydrating foundations. It's really all about the prep. So we're going to give this foundation the best prep possible. So I'm going to go ahead with my Milk Makeup Primer. This is just what I've been using. It's been working for all of my other foundations so far, so we're just gonna assume that it's gonna work for this one. And I just like to pat that in with my hands. Next, we are going to do a little bit of quick color correcting. I'm just using this Live Tinted Hue Stick in the shade Rise, just to cancel out any darkness that might come through. Buff that out with a brush. And the last prep step is going to be powdering. So powdering before foundation kind of helps control oil, especially if you have certain areas like me in my T-zone that really tend to get oily. So I like to use a sponge. Lately, I've really been loving this Dose of Color sponge. Taking a sponge and my Hazelnut Fenty Pro Filter powder. I'm just gonna focus on that. But yeah, taking that powder, and we're just gonna go right up in here. So these steps are really important in general when you wear foundation and you have oily skin, but especially if you want more of that like kind of glass skin, glowy skin finish, but you already have kind of oily skin. I find that doing these things, especially the powdering, really helps the foundation last a lot longer. So now we're ready for our foundation. So what I have learned in doing this foundation, so full disclosure again, I already filmed a review of this, and I looked back at the footage and I realized that I had done something differently that I had not done the previous times that I had tried it, which is I applied way too much product. And by the end of the day, I looked like an oil slick. But the previous times I tried it, I felt like I really liked it. So I wasn't sure like what exactly I was doing wrong. So today I'm gonna try and make sure that I apply it the ways I did before that review and see what the results are gonna be. I am doing a wear test, so don't worry. We're gonna see how long this foundation will perform and keep its finish. But yeah, so that will be the first thing that I'm going to point out to y'all as I apply this. So I'm gonna start off with like maybe 3 little swipes on each side, one here and one there. Like before I had done like, I basically covered my face in the stick, and I don't think you need to do that. I feel like a little goes a long way with this stick. It's a cream, obviously it's a stick with a cream formula. So with creams, I feel like a little goes a long way a lot of the time. It really depends on how much coverage you want. So we're gonna start off with this, and then wherever I feel like I need more coverage, I will go back with the stick and apply more. So I'm using this Fenty brush. This is their 115 foundation brush. I really like this brush for buffing out foundations, and that's the second thing. I really like buffing this foundation out as opposed to using a sponge. I just feel like it just looks a lot better, and I feel like with the sponge you might end up using more product, which will then end up making sure that you will be an oil slick. So I'm gonna go ahead and buff this in. So, and I mentioned I don't have the pamphlet in front of me, but I'm not sure what the website description is, but in the pamphlet they sent with the foundation, they do say this is for like a makeup minimalist. So this is something that you can either touch up with, that is supposed to be like really easy, really simple, not something like basically supposed to be like a foolproof product. So it's something that you should be able to just swipe and blend. So it's not something that like necessarily is supposed to be super full coverage. So just keep that in mind when working with this foundation. So I'm looking in my mirror. Let me just look down, and I feel like I have I have pretty good coverage with that amount. I'm just gonna apply. Well, no, actually, you know what? I'm gonna stop here because I am gonna apply some more, but I'm gonna use a different color. One of the ways that they also kind of suggest using this foundation stick is to highlight and contour. So I don't really want to highlight with it, but I do want to contour with it. So I'm taking the shade NW60. This is the darkest shade that they have, and I have swatches of all the deeper shades on my Instagram right now. I'll link that down below in case you're wondering what each shade looks like. But this is the deepest shade that they carry. So I'm just going to take NW60. And again, a little goes a long way. So I'm just going to apply a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm wearing this little high pony, so I want to make sure that I don't bring the contour too low. And apply a little bit there. I'm gonna take the same brush and blend that out. The good thing about these sticks too is that they really do blend out super easily and layer really nicely. Yeah, so I'm liking how this is looking. Let me just quickly evaluate where we're at. So this is the finished application. I feel like I definitely am getting like Your Skin But Better natural finish vibes. I feel like this year that has been the kind of the vibe and the theme for all the foundation launches. I think as we're progressing in beauty world and beauty technology, really trying, beauty brands are really trying to hone in on making foundations as skin-like as possible, whether it is a matte or a glowy finish foundation. So this is what I'm getting from that. Let's go ahead and apply concealer. I'm gonna go and use the Fenty concealer today. I'm using the shades 400 and 385. So I'm just going to apply 400 here, and I would like to apply a little touch of 385 right in the inner corner. And so if you didn't know, I like to let my concealer sit a little bit before I start blending it out. So I will be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out one side at a time, and we are setting today with Fenty Beauty's Cashew Powder. So just using the sponge. This sponge is revolutionary. If you are looking for a new sponge to try, I love this one because it just blends. It doesn't really absorb. Ugh, wow, I can't talk today. It doesn't really absorb product. It blends it in really well. So I've just been really liking this sponge. So after blending, I just go in with my powder, take about that much powder, dab the excess on the back of my hand, and press it in. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of the other powder. This is my like kind of finishing skin tone powder, the hazelnut, and bake the nose, just because that is the area that is most likely to get oily. All right, so I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna apply a little bit of bronzer. I have here the Lip Bar Bronzer Duo. This is the shade Double Date. We'll focus. Let me open it up so y'all can see. Working with, I'm just gonna apply that. So this is basically what we're working with. I'm gonna go and apply a little bit of highlight, finish my eyes, and apply my lipstick, and we'll be right back to kind of discuss this foundation, talk about, well, let's see, what time is it? It is, so it's 2:30 right now. I can't show you my phone because I'm using it as my little monitor down here. It's 2:30 right now. So let's just say that's when the foundation was applied. My full face will probably be done in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So I'll be right back, and then we can talk a little bit more. All right, y'all, I'm back. The time is now 2:55. So let's just say a good 3 o'clock for this wear test. And this is what my face is looking like. Now I'm gonna insert footage from my first wear test because this looks way better than the way I was looking after I applied it in my first wear test. This is more of what it's been looking like as I've been testing and trying it out. I feel like I have a really nice, beautiful, natural finish going on. I really think, even though, let me just show y'all my chest versus my face. I do feel like my chest is a little bit more golden. This is pulling a little bit more orange, but I feel like it's balancing itself out, so it's really not too noticeable. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but I can kind of tell in person just because I have so many foundations that do match me. I could just tell there's just a smidge off from what I would usually choose for myself, but I feel like other than that, it looks pretty nice. So again, I'll have that footage in here somewhere of what not to do with this foundation. But the time is essentially 3 o'clock. We're gonna let a few hours go by. I will check in periodically using my phone to show y'all how this foundation is doing. Let me go ahead and actually just set. I'm gonna use, what should I use? Let me just use my sponge real quick to just quickly set everything into place. This is the Fenty powder. I'm just gonna go over everything. Just want to give this foundation a chance so that we can say we gave it a fair chance and we did everything possible to make sure that it succeeds. So just set with a little bit of extra powder. We're gonna go throughout the day. I will check in with y'all in a couple of hours. So it is about 4:37, about 2 hours, about a little bit past the 2-hour mark since the foundation was first applied. As y'all can probably see, I'm starting to get oily in my T-zone already, which is this area right up in here. Hopefully y'all can hear me over this wind. But yeah, so the T-zone is getting oily. I can see it, especially on my nose. Even though we baked, we're still getting oily. So also you can kind of see the shade difference a little bit more here in the shade. Let's go in the sun. So this is my first check-in. I am filming another video, so I am gonna go touch up quickly with powder just in this area, just so that y'all know. But yeah, 2 hours in, starting to look a little too hydrated, but time will tell. Time is now 6:56, so it's basically 7 o'clock. It's been like 5 hours. I'm a little bit annoyed, a little bit perturbed at the moment, but that's okay. I'm out running errands. Yeah, I'm looking real shiny. I didn't end up touching up because I decided I'm gonna film the video I want to film tomorrow. So this is me untouched since about 2:30, 3 o'clock, or I think 2:33, between 2:30 and 3. It's now 7. Looking pretty glowy. Yeah. If you look at me from the side, it's not too bad, but like I said before, if you look at the T-zone, that's where most of the oil resides. So second check-in of the day. Probably won't check in with y'all again until the end of the day in a few hours, right before I'm gonna take this makeup off. All right, y'all, we are back. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the little check-ins I did throughout the day with my phone. But I'm back home and I am behind my ring light, and the time is now just shy of 11 p.m. and this is what my face looks like. So yeah, basically I am oily as hell. But that's okay, that's okay. So this foundation is meant to be like a quick fix, minimal, super easy going foundation. It's not meant to hold up through any kind of summer heat or any kind of, this is not where you're bringing to like your cheerleading squad makeup, any kind of performance makeup, any kind of long wearing. This is just a quick throw it in your bag and/or contour stick. And so for that purpose, I think that it definitely gets the job done. I did like the way that it layered. It's super easily blended. I can't talk. It's 11 p.m. and I can't talk. It was super easy to blend out. And I'm trying to think what other point I wanted to hit. But yeah, basically super easy to use. However, it's obviously not going, if you are, let me say, for me, if you are like me and you have combination oily skin, this is not going to be something that's going to last you like a whole day's worth of wear, most likely, because I powdered before foundation, I powdered after. I did kind of all the things I could think of to kind of prevent the oil from coming, and I'm still pretty oily. If I turn my head to the side, you can still kind of see the oil coming through even in the places where I don't normally get oily. So yeah, I mean, it's probably something that I might try in the winter months, but in general, cream products for me personally, like I don't really like stick foundations in general because of how like slippery they are, and this is kind of usually the finish that I get. The only stick foundation that I really like is the Maybelline Super Stay because it's super mattifying. But so to quickly wrap things up, if you have normal dry skin, definitely give this a try. If you're like me, combination oily, probably might not like this foundation. Definitely great for doing touch-ups, maybe as like a spot corrector, concealer, something to add coverage, something to contour with. 2 thumbs up for that. But as a everyday, all-day wear foundation, it is most likely not gonna be for me. Again, I'll give it a try in the colder months, but definitely not right now in this heat. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's style of review. Let me know in the comments below if you have any further questions about this foundation, about the range, which unfortunately, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what MAC was thinking or what they do think when they create different ranges for different foundations. I wish this one was slightly more extensive, but maybe because it's supposed to be something that is supposed to be so multifunctional, maybe they felt like the shades were supposed to be that way. I don't know what the logic is. I'm not going to pretend that I understand how these brands make business decisions sometimes. But yeah, shade range also, I have to say, is not that impressive. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more content. Thanks so much to you all for sticking with me, hanging out with me today. And yeah, that's all I have for you. I will see you in the next video. Good night.